What is up, YouTube? Um, just making another podcast today. Haven't made one in a while. It's been a minute since my last podcast. So, I don't know. How has the new year been? I don't know. You can put that in the comments if you'd like to. So, what is up, Bubble Bub Nation? I'm back with another banger. So, obviously the Colts just fell to another L against the Giants. And so since the Colts just lost to the Giants, what it means for the Giants is they just clinched the playoffs. So I'll give you a little brief thing that we're going to dive into over this video. So we're going to be looking over Colts QB options for the for who they could draft. I'm going to go over a little bit of what they're about and stuff like that. I have two Colts coach options that I'm going to get into in this video too. And just some talk about what I think the Colts should be doing. And so yeah, so let's dive into it. So the Colts, by the way, they're eliminated from the playoffs. That a quick Google search shows me that they're 4-10-1. You think a team could make the playoffs at 4-10-1? I don't think so. Unless everybody else was really trash in the AFC, but I don't know. So yeah, so I heard that the Colts currently hold the 5th pick in the draft, so it's a top 5 pick. It might have just went up. By the way, I was trying to get a video out, like, I recorded it, like, New Year's Eve. I couldn't drop the video because I tried to edit it and stuff, and I accidentally, like, deleted it because I thought it would save, but, I'm back out with another podcast, so, you know, so, my question for the Colts is, I mean, okay, it was before I saw the game, but I saw the game. It was like, why aren't the Colts playing Sam Ellinger? I mean, I think you guys have heard that from my earlier videos. How I was thinking that they should be starting Sam Ellinger. But they haven't. But not that I want anybody to get injured or anything, but if you guys were watching that game right before halftime, Nick Foles got injured by a sack by Kayvon Thibodeau. That injured him, and he got injured. So, it's not a good thing when people get really injured and stuff like that. It's not the greatest thing, but I'm just glad that Sam Ellinger got to play some football out of this. I mean, you can think of the bad, but you can think what it's doing good to the football team. So hopefully Nick Foles gets healed, but I just hope Sam Ellinger can play out the rest of the season. Maybe prove anything, if he's got anything, to be, I don't know, maybe Colts franchise quarterback. This offseason they could get rid of Nick Foles, they could get rid of Matt Ryan. Maybe trade up in the draft, or maybe Colts will have like top 3 pick by the end of this year. The Colts are going into a game versus the Texans on so yeah, the Colts will go into their last game of the season. Hopefully they'll be put at 4-11-1. Hopefully. Yeah, so the Texans have only gotten 2 wins this season. So, hopefully the Colts can take a loss to the Texans and eventually heighten their what's it called, their draft their draft will go up because they're only at 4-10-1. Like I said, I looked it up and it said they have the fifth pick, and that was like a couple days ago, so they could already be up. If the Denver Broncos, I don't know if they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, they might have, so that might push us up because they took a win and then we took a loss. So there's that, and so yeah, Ellinger got to play throughout this game. I noticed some during the game. I think we were trying to like run. I got to see Zach Moss out there on the field. Um, I'm glad that I got to see Zach Moss play. But honestly, do you guys think Taylor's going to be back? Do you think he's going to come back from last year's season and build off of that? Um, I don't really know. But what this franchise really needs is a good quarterback. Obviously, I think you guys all know that. Um, so yeah, let's go into some Colts QB options, and then we'll go into some coaching options for the Indianapolis Colts. So my three guys here. There might be more. If you guys want me to do an off-season video, because there won't be much Colts content, why I should do videos over while there's not anything going on. Maybe videos over the USFL. I don't know. So my three guys that I have here is Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, and Will Levis. So first let's go into Bryce Young. What I've gained over, like, I didn't watch much Bama play. I don't even know if I've watched Bama play at all. But what I've heard about his game is he's good under pressure. Bryce Young can tolerate pressure, and he's good at getting through pressure. Obviously, if you're at Alabama, you're usually, pretty good, and if you're starting. So, Bryce Young's stats, I'll put them like right here for all you guys to see. Just kind of from 2021 to 2022. As you can see, he did get a little bit of a drop-off in yards, touchdowns to interceptions, but you have to factor in that he did lose Jamison Williams and John Mechie, his two top yards and receivers last year. So, also Bama, they have, like I was saying, usually you're pretty good if you play at Bama. So he has probably maybe better talent at receiver than these guys from Kentucky and these guys from Florida Gators. So that's what you have to factor in with doing a quarterback. You like to have high touchdowns to low interceptions and a good completion percentage. I always like to see if they can scramble for yards and stuff like that. So I'm thinking Bryce Young could go as the top two quarterback. Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. So yeah, there's Bryce Young, and then I'll go into the next guy, Will Levis. So Will Levis plays on the Kentucky Wildcats. I'm just gonna say that people have compared his game to Josh Allen. He's a hard worker. Those are some of the good things, but I'll put his stats like right up here, and he hasn't really gotten the stats together. Like I was saying, you have to factor in these other things, like they don't have the highest weapons at Kentucky, or the Gators compared to Alabama and stuff like that. So you have to factor in that when you're looking at a quarterback. So yeah, Will Levis. He hasn't really gotten all his talents together. I've heard that he has a really like strong arm, maybe like a powerful arm. People are like saying that he's got like the strongest arm in the draft or and stuff like that. I mean that's cool stuff, but if you can't like fit that stuff together, I mean, you know, I don't really know. We've seen like so he could be a bust, I mean, I'm not calling him one, but it could turn out like that. I mean, it could turn out for any of these quarterbacks. You guys have seen it in the earlier years with or like people in the NBA, for instance, like Anthony Bennett, who was like what the first overall pick in the NBA draft, and then he didn't turn out to be very good. I mean, what people maybe thought he was. So, he hasn't really got it all together, Will Levis. But do you think a coach can step behind him and push him in a perfect mold that can mold him into a great quarterback? Now, do we know if this is going to happen? I don't know. Um, I've heard that he doesn't really get off reads the best. Like it's hard for him looking one read to throw the ball to, and then he doesn't throw that one, and so he it's has a hard time throwing to the other one. But he has the athletic ability. He has, I guess, the arm talent. But if you can't fit it together, I mean, I don't know. So let's go to our next guy. We have Anthony Richardson. I've talked about him in earlier videos and stuff like that. So Anthony Richardson, he is in the Florida Gators. He, I'm just gonna say he is raw. Okay, he hasn't very played many games at starting quarterback. He's only started in 11 games in college. Like I think it was like 11 games. So he hasn't really played a lot of starts at quarterback for the Gators, and he's already declaring for the draft. But I'll put his stats up right here. Um, he's good at rushing. Like the guy can scramble. Um, at least showing us his yards. He's got like what, like 400 something rushing yards this season. Um, so he's raw. He hasn't really started many games at quarterback, but there's all this hype around him saying that he could be this good player and stuff like that. He could maybe turn into like a Lamar Jackson or something like that. I mean, who really knows? So that's one thing about the guy. I would say maybe he has the most rushing yards as a quarterback in this year's draft class. I'm not 100% sure, but 400 rushing yards is not too terrible for a quarterback. So, yeah, there's Anthony Richardson. I'd say more the rushing guy. You have to factor in when they do rush, they do have a higher percent chance of getting hurt and stuff. But who doesn't love a scrambling quarterback? I mean, did you guys see the Giants game, the one that just happened yesterday? Daniel Jones was running like, dude, he was getting off reads. He was making some runs and stuff like that. Daniel Jones just kind of fit it together with New York Giants, and they might put their hope in him as their franchise quarterback. So let's go into some options for coaching. Oh, wait, I'm gonna go into Anthony Richardson and Will Levis about what I think their draft projection will be. I think Anthony Richardson might be a top 5 quarterback, and then Will Levis, I would say top 5 quarterback or second round. Just because there's hype around him, but do you really know if you can fit all that together? He could be taken really high. He could be taken in the later draft class. There also is options for coaches. So my coaches that I picked out is Sean Payton and Jim Harbaugh. So let's go into Sean Payton. some of you guys might have heard of him. He was the coach under Drew Brees. He is away from the NFL currently right now. He's not a head coach right now. He coached for the New Orleans Saints. So there's rumors that he might want to come back and coach for a team. So there's Sean Payton, and then also there's Jim Harbaugh. Some of you guys might know him. He is the coach for Michigan. Obviously, you can see Michigan's record. It's pretty good, you know. I mean, they've got a good amount of wins. So he also has been an NFL coach before. In 2002, he was a Raiders QB coach. So maybe if we brought him in, he'd be good with the quarterbacks. I don't know. Also, from 2011 to 2014, he was the 49ers head coach. And also, some of you guys, I don't know if you know this, but his older brother, John Harbaugh, is the head coach of the Ravens. So maybe football just runs in the family for them. So, yeah, so those are my coaching options: Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh. My QB options: Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis. What do you guys think? Type below in the comments what you guys think. Do you think we should draft these people? Do you think these people should be the Colts' next options? Or do you think we should just roll another year with Matt Ryan? Now, I don't really want that. I kind of want to get him out of here. But type in the comments below what you guys think. Hope you guys like this one. Type in the comments what you want me to do over the NFL offseason. What kind of videos I could post to keep you all entertained. So, thanks for listening this long. Have a great day. Peace.